Hey everybody, this is the Mud Guy RC and I'm the Mud Guy. And I just want to give you a little update here on the Project Aries, my Wraith build. Right now I'm at the point, and it's been very busy the last couple days, but I did get a chance to come down to the shop and put a couple hours in. I would have liked to have had it done by now, but very busy holiday schedule. So anyway, where I'm at in the build right now is I pretty much have the front and the rear axle assemblies put together with the links, the shafts, and I build all the shocks. So on to the rest of the build, which is pretty much the main transmission and the chassis. One thing I have to say though is the build is going to be put on hold because we are not going to use this chassis here that came with the kit. Something big came up this morning, and I can't go into detail right now because information is still coming in. But basically, it's going to be something really cool that we're going to add to the Wraith project, to the Wraith build. And like I said, when I get more details, stuff's still coming in. My mind is still kind of spinning around the whole thing. But basically, we're not going to use the kit chassis. We're going to use something different. And that's where we're at right now. So we kind of have to put the build on hold. Everything came in. Well, just about everything came in. I still need the motor yet. I decided to go with the RC Screw stainless screw kit, and I think, honestly, this is the last time I'm going to use an RC Screws kit. It really doesn't have a solution for now even the majority of the screws, especially in this Wraith kit. With the Slash, it was maybe like two-thirds of the screws were you were able to change over to stainless, but with this one, it's not even half. So I have a bunch of stainless screws left over, and they'll come in handy in the future. But as far as buying them per kit, I'm not going to do that anymore. But I am still going to go with the standard Boca bearings. I know they're a little pricey, but the concept of them being maintenance free really appeals to me. So I bought a Boca bearing kit for this Wraith, and the main reason being for its corrosion resistance properties. Being stainless and having ceramic bearings, not for the high temperature, high speed application, but for the fact that they describe these as maintenance free. That's yet to be seen. I haven't owned any Boca set long enough to actually prove that. Excuse me, I have a cold, so I'm a little stuffed up. It's been a really rough past couple of days. So anyway, full set of Boca bearings, as many stainless screws as I could switch over. As you can see, I decided to go with the set of Vanquish links here, both for the upper, lower, and the steering Vanquish titanium links. When I added up the cost of replacing these all in the future, plus the aluminum links that it came with, I was really in distance of getting the Vanquish set, so I just decided to go with that. And I think that's the way to go. Still my first rock racer scale or anything like this, so I don't exactly know what's going to break when and where. So I didn't want to upgrade everything right away. I still want to get to know this kit a little bit, but I kind of thought that these things would take a lot of abuse, and a lot of guys complain that there's too much flex in there, especially the steering. So I just decided to do that right away. So for the steering servo, I went with the Savox waterproof SW 1210 SG. It's their flagship waterproof servo. A little bit taller than normal. I think it's coreless motor, so less power consumption than a normal Savox servo. So that would be kind of cool. I will not need a BEC to run this, but I probably will have one in the future because I want to do some lights and whatnot. So basically, that's where I'm at. This is what I got done. The kit, for the most part, the kit's going together really well. Some things I want to touch on, so we'll talk about some mistakes, some things that and Wraith builders, let me know if I'm wrong on this, but I did find some flaws in the kit. And one thing I want to point out right away, and I'll show you close-ups of this, is this picture here, right here, where it pretty much shows you the aspect of how you want to angle your C-hubs here. And the pictures, I believe these two pictures aren't referring to the proper C-hub. I think if these pictures were reversed, it would make more sense. So if that's a little confusing, basically just think about it this way. The front and the rear notation here makes sense, but I think these pictures should be reversed as they have it shown here in the diagram. But, basically you want to think of it this way. You want your C-hub to be perpendicular to the ground, and your drive shaft here to be kind of angled up towards where it's going to come out of your transmission. So just kind of think of it that's how it's going to look. So you want to have your C-hub mounted in this position here. So a little confusing there. As far as parts going, parts and incomplete parts, these two little screws here were the same size. This one was supposed to be 2 millimeters longer, but I got all 4 for this kit, and that bag that it was supposed to come in were the same size. Now, if I have extra screws, I'll replace that out. I didn't think it was a huge deal, and you do have this main screw here that comes through the middle that holds it all together, so I think it's pretty solid, but that was one thing that they kind of messed up on bagging. Basically when you're building this, just always keep in mind that you have a front and your back, and you kind of want your pumpkin, your axle, whatever this is, the housing here, to be on the same side. And this little symbol here, your little axial symbol, you want that to always face the same direction because these are identical, and that will kind of throw you. You would think that this little bulge here might go on one side as opposed to the other, but basically you want to keep your A symbol, your axial symbol, straight up and down. And you have a little bit, if you go with these Vanquish links, you're going to have a little bit of rub here. So I think in the future I might trim that down, either that or go with a new cover. Because if you have this thing straight up front, it's going to limit your steering mobility. So I pushed this up as far as I could get it. And I don't know yet. Like I said, once I plug this in and get everything going, then I can kind of check my distance, set my endpoints. But to get maximum steering, which is very important to crawling, as far as I know, you're going to have to maybe trim some of that down or whatever. I'm trying to think what else was screwed up. Oh, this, which one here? This is the one here. It's a little gnarly because I actually had to bore this out a little bit. It wasn't quite wide enough. I don't know if they didn't have their specs checked right on their whatever machine they use to make your little outdrive here. But I had to actually bore this hole out a little bit just to fit that over the little nub here, the drive on the axle. So that was actually not too cool because I picture some kid buying this kit and not being able to really handle that. I have a drill press. I can do stuff like that, but I didn't think that was really cool. I thought that would hold up some kid or maybe even confuse them. And a kit really should be kind of perfect. It's kind of strange. When I was a kid, growing up building kits. I never had any issues with anything, any kits, Tamiya, whatever, Team Associated. But now the kits I build, there's always a few problems, and I hope that some companies just have a zero tolerance policy, and these kits should really just be perfect. I don't think it's acceptable, especially when kids are buying these, to have I think I'm up to like 4 mistakes now. There was one other thing I can't think. Oh, this there was a two parts mislabeled. But it wasn't a really big deal. It was in the shock build. This little spacer here and this cap, they're on the right tree, but the numbers are wrong in the manual. But, you just look at your tree, you'll see which parts look like the parts in the diagram. And that's what I ran into so far. But all in all, it's a great kit. I love it. I mean, the pieces go together really well. I don't struggle with anything. So for the most part, the shocks went together pretty good. I noticed this little cap down here with the O-ring, if you don't have that snapped in all the way, tightened as much as you can, when you go to bleed these shocks and you put that pressure on there, that's going to pop out through. So that's one thing to pay attention to. And it makes a little snapping sound. But that was, something I probably I was afraid to plastic. I was afraid to tighten it too much. But yeah, you want these shocks to be, this bottom part here to be all the way screwed down, because like I said, if you pump that when you go to bleed it, the little O-ring is going to pop out through the side. And it's a little scary because you don't want to mess up your O-ring. But other than that, yeah, I'm loving the kit. I think it's going to be really cool. Like I said, I have to stop now because the next part is the chassis and cage build, and we're not going to use my stock chassis and cage. I'm hoping to get a bench time with the bear video out this weekend. So much stuff has happened. In the past couple days, there's been lots of channel activity, a lot of stuff I need to talk to you guys about, and plus some big details about this build, what's going on in the neighborhood. We have new RCs, not in our family, but there's new RCs on the block, so lots and lots of stuff to talk about. We're gonna have a big show. I'm hoping to do it this weekend if I can get the bear down here. Lots of stuff going on, so we'll keep going at it with this. Well, we're actually stuck now with the build, but it is an ongoing process. The weather and the snow is really putting a damper on running vids, but I'd like to get something out so it's not just all build, bench, build, videos. I'd like to get something outside in the yard, but that we'll see. But like I said, this weekend, stay tuned. My goal is to get you a really cool bench time with the bear. It's going to be a long one because we have so much to cover. There's so much activity going on between this channel and other channels and things that are happening in my RC world and the real RC world, and it's just time to talk to you guys. So, all right, so that's where we are with the Wraith build, Project Aries. Lots of plans, lots of cool stuff going on. Something really big happened this morning that, like I said, I want to gather all the details up before I tell you guys and make sure everything's right and correct before I start, you know, spewing off of the mouth. But anyway, so stay tuned to that. Look forward to the next bench time with the bear. And this is on hold for a good reason. Take care. Hope you guys are going to have a cool, Happy New Year's. And 2014 is already shaping up to be really huge. So stay tuned to that. And I know I'm a little bit hyper right now. But this is my first non-hangover morning in a long time. So I feel like I have a lot of energy. So yeah, stay tuned. And thanks for watching. You guys take care.